Today's weather was a big change from where we were Monday night. We saw some showers early on this morning, but they were nowhere near as strong as the storm activity that we saw passing through the area and really much of the upper Midwest on Monday night. So let's take a look back at it. Some of the storm reports have now come in and we've had some results be filtered through on how exactly we classify this windstorm that we saw on Monday night. Spoiler alert, it is just going to be that, just a plain old windstorm. While it was strong and we had plenty of severe wind gust reports, didn't exactly meet the criteria of a derecho, and we're going to explain why. It's a very specific criteria to be able to be called that buzzword that has been being thrown around a lot. Now, this red path here is the thunderstorms that impacted our area Monday night, but there was a second one happening simultaneously that started off into Nebraska and then eventually moved over across central Iowa at the same exact time. Now, again, the purple one ended up classified as a derecho, but what we saw up here technically wasn't. Exactly why only one criteria was missed in our neck of the woods. To be called a derecho, you actually can't forecast one because it's reaching that definition after the fact. It's all damage based, so you have to go back and assess all the damage reports. And with that assessed, we met every single one except for one. The first one, you need to have at least 250 miles long of a swath that had widespread wind damage, and that swath also has to be 60 miles wide. Of course, we definitely reached that, actually doubled it in some locations. A very large area of wind reported within that red area, but how intense that wind was really the outlier that keeps us from this title exactly. We also have to have that system lasting at least 3 hours long. Of course it did. It lasted all night. Widespread wind gusts have to be throughout the entirety of the swath. Wind gusts reaching at least 58 miles an hour. We had plenty of wind gust reports of at least 58 and above, even some reports getting into the upper 60s. I'm sure as all of us saw a lot of that tree damage around the area once we woke up Tuesday morning. The thing that kept us from this derecho being called a derecho, at least the windstorm being called a derecho, is those isolated wind gusts of 75 plus miles per hour. There were 2 wind reports in our area that did reach that. You needed at least 5. So very, very close to being called a derecho, but now we know exactly what goes into actually getting that criteria. It's very complicated, probably a lot more complicated than a lot of us were thinking. Still a very strong storm nonetheless, but we don't really have to deal with that for actually quite some time. It's looking to be a very dry forecast. Our main concern, though, is really going to be this smoke. We saw some of it enter into the area after those clouds cleared this afternoon. We're going to continue to see air quality issues going into at least tomorrow afternoon. We have an air quality alert in Wisconsin until noon tomorrow, but a secondary ribbon of smoke likely skirts a little bit further to the south as we go into Thursday evening and possibly even lasts into Friday morning. Maybe some more smoke lingering into the weekend as well. So that air quality alert will likely last a little bit longer than tomorrow afternoon. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be dealing with this for at least a few days, but at least the temperatures aren't bad. 61 for your low in La Crosse, 56 in Eau Claire. Tomorrow's high is very comparable to where we sat today. Mostly sunny apart from that haze. Much of the area in the upper 70s, 79 in La Crosse, 76 in Eau Claire. And really, you can almost take the temperature, the high temperature for every single day this week and just expect that to be what the next day is going to be like. 'Cause it's copy and paste, staying in the upper 70s and the low 80s. Every day this week, our average high is still sitting around 85, so we're going to be below average for just about a week now until we get back to about middle of next week. That's when we start to warm up a little bit, maybe some additional signs of warming by the end of next week, possibly getting some of that summer heat back in. So definitely not done with it yet, but we get a really good break from it.
And by the way, great explanation of the derecho. I didn't even know what it meant.
It's very complicated. It's very complicated. So
yeah, it looks like we have no signs of that happening next week.
No, thankfully.
Yeah, it looks really good. All right, thanks, Nicole.